So, yeah, what? I don't even know. The release date for Legion has been announced. Of course, you will all know this. If you have internet access, you have known this for some time, the same time I found out about it. Oh my God, 30th of August. If this was a thing at the bookies where they were taking bets on when the date would be, that would probably be the date I would have bet. And do you know why? Because I'm a teacher, as people follow my channel may know that. Which means during summer I get quite a bit of time off. Now, it's not like I can just spend all of that summer slacking off. There is work to do, there's preparation for the following year. But in actual fact, this summer it won't be so bad. I mean, where you get most work as a teacher over summer is if you go into a new place, if you like changing employer, then there's a lot of stuff to prepare then. If you're teaching different classes or different subjects, or the specifications being updated, then there's extra prep there. None of those things apply to me. So for next year, it's basically just improvements on how I've been doing it this year. So I would have had quite a lot of time this summer. And although, of course, we've known for some time that it hasn't seemed very advanced, we've been in the alpha, we're still in alpha. And it doesn't matter, I mean, some people are saying, well, it's basically beta anyway. It doesn't matter what you call it. Blizzard are still calling it alpha. Really, publicly at any rate. You know, we've only just been allowed to get to level cap. We can't copy characters across yet. We haven't got all the zones open. We haven't got Suramar open yet. So we've sort of known that it's not ready for release just yet. But we still clung to the hope that it'd be released like late July, maybe sometime in August. Not at the death of August. So basically, I'm going to have 6 weeks off. Where if they'd have released it during that time, I easily could have put aside 2 weeks to just focus on leveling up 2 characters and gearing up 2 characters and killing many, many squirrels for many, many legendaries, which, yes, I know will be turned off in the early part of raiding, but it won't be long before they're turned on. And do lots of dungeons and do lots of dailies and get all the artifact power and all the usual things that come with raiding. Because that's what other people do. You know, if I had a normal job where I could book time off, I would book 2 weeks off and dedicate it to the levelling up process. Or even just 1 week. You get away with 1 week, wouldn't you? So they choose to release it because, you know, Blizzard love trolling me. It's not paranoia when they really are after you. And they release it the day after I go back to work. Thanks. In terms of other people, of course, not everyone's a teacher. Not everyone's going to be affected in this way. You could think, well, everyone else is all right, aren't they? Then it hits home. Legion's coming out 14 months after Hellfire Citadel. 14 months in the same raid instance. Oh, but what about people who don't raid? Yeah, what have they got? Oh my God. I mean, it's, you know, we wouldn't want them to rush it, would we? It is better, surely, to bring it out a bit later and it be good than to bring it out earlier and it be bad. I can totally get on board with that. 14 months. It's getting to be a bit of a habit, this. I mean, I remember in MOP when that, you know, not MOP even, Cataclysm, sorry, Dragon Soul. That dragged on. Whew. And then MOP, you know, Siege of War. And it's like, I thought after Cataclysm, oh, they'll not do this again. They've learnt the lesson. I mean, they're never going to do that again. Oh, they leave us with that long, with that content. And then they did it in MOP. And now they've done it again. They've bettered it even. Oh my God. And the other thing as well is the announcement. Now, this is what has made me think what's going on here, because we've normally with an expansion, I can't speak really for Cataclysm. I could probably look it up, but I wasn't really playing for most of Wrath, because I was totally pissed off with it after the first tier. So I wasn't around when Cataclaim came out. But for the other expansions I have been, and we've generally been given 2 months notice. I think for what it might have been slightly less. It was about 2 months. It's certainly generally, almost to the day, 2 months notice between announcing when an expansion is coming out and it coming out. They all sort of say it's coming out 2 months today, or give or take a few days. Well, it's coming out on the 30th of August. That's over 4 months away. Yeah. Over 4 months away. That's a large amount of notice. Very strange. I wonder what the reason for that is. And I mean, I suppose it allows people to plan. You can plan holidays. You can go on holiday this summer and you won't miss a day of Legion. I don't know. I don't think they're announcing it so far ahead just to suit our holiday plans. I would be curious to know why they are releasing this, or they're announcing the release this early on. I think we can assume the reason why they're releasing it. So, I mean, some people were saying, oh, it's so far not ready. They're not even going to have it out in September. They're going to be right up to the day of when they said, and it was something like 23rd-ish of September, they said it'd be released at the latest. They were never realistically going to work right up to that time, of course. But, how is this going to affect people? I mean, you know now how long you've got left. If people are still progressing through Hellfire Citadel, you know what you've got left. People who aren't, you know how many mounts you can still sell. If people want to buy a mount, you know how long you've got to save up. Pre-patch, of course. I mean, it's not like we're just going to be moseying along until that time. The pre-patch will come out apparently up to a couple of months before, so we could be looking at, I suppose, the end of June for the pre-patch, when all our abilities will change. We'll be using the new abilities. Get new features as well. We'll get the new wardrobe feature. So I suppose there'll be some interest there. So it's not like there's over 4 months to wait before anything new happens. And if there's some reasonable content, I don't know exactly. I've not, I don't think it's been there to test yet. I'm not sure. Like the scenario, some people may know this. I don't always read what Blizzard put out. Usually I do when it's related to my class, but I sort of test some things out for. Like the scenario, which you'll have seen on YouTube already. I'm going to do a bit of that from the Paladin point of view later this week. I don't know. Is that intended to be before Legion launches? Is that part of the pre-expansion content? I actually don't know, now that I think about it. Because there's presumably going to be some decent content for the pre-expansion patch. Because there wasn't in WoD. We had a few quests in Blasted Lands, and we got a pet. That was it. that was basically it. I don't even like the pet that much. And there's got to be more. There's usually make a big song and a dance about it. I'm sure they'll do another really good one this time round, and that, and they want to release that a couple of months in. So we could think about it. There's like 2.5 months to go of the same old drudgery, and then we'll have something new. I can't imagine it'll be content that will last us 2 months, but at least it's something. And I suppose once you've exhausted that content, which I suppose for a lot of people will just take about a week or two, then we're that much sooner, aren't we? We're onto a bit of a countdown. And summer, what am I going to do? I mean, you could probably think to yourself, no problem, Phil. Lots of time to make guides. I can plan them. I'm a bit wary. I am still a bit wary. I am going to obviously put a lot of guides out, particularly with the normal ones I would do. But I am a bit wary of trying to do it too early, because they can change things right at the last minute. They can change things after launch. There's not a lot I can do about that. I will have all the guides, especially the Retribution Paladin guides, as also and guides related to some of the stuff around Legion, like professions and questing and things like that as well. The sort of things I did for the last one as well, except I wasn't really trying to grow a channel then. I just put them out for friends and guildies and stuff. So they will be out by the launch date. It's just that I will try and leave it to the last minute in case there are any last minute changes for those. So for most of summer, I suppose there's always Black Desert Online. Oh my God. I mean, although I sort of knew in my heart of hearts it was not going to be released mid-July, which would have suited me down to the ground, I was holding out hope for early August or mid-August, maybe. Mid-August would have been okay. I'm still off. I've still got time off there. But literally waiting until I go back to work. And then that's the time to release it. That's the perfect time to release it. How do they know my schedule? I didn't even think Blizzard were aware of me. It's not paranoia. They keep doing this. But anyway, what do you think? How's it going to affect you? Love to hear that. Put those in the comments below. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I have got a video coming out a bit later tonight on zones, the artwork in the zones of Legion. Because there are some stunning scenes in there. So I'm going to do a little bit of a video on that. I'm going to kill a lot of gnomes for what Blizzard have done today. A lot of gnomes. And coincidentally, I have got a video coming out in the next few days on why gnomes are not the master race. So, yeah, bit of a propaganda video coming out later. The gnome mafia have decided to declare war on me, so I'm fighting back. And as well as there'll be a short retribution one coming out, and there'll be a few other ones, of course, coming out over the week as well. So keep tuned for that, and I'll see you later.